Okay, good morning. We are going to get started. Uh, Myself and Mr. Jack Hartnett, who is our Director of Technology, he is joining us to give us an overview of Google Classroom. I will be speaking about Genesis, the parent portal. So thank you very much for attending. And we are recording this for any parents or viewers who would like to watch this at a later point who were unable to log in today. We will also have another session this evening at 7 o'clock. So you can also have an opportunity to log back in if you are unable to stay. So this is Parent Session 4, a parent's guide to Genesis and Google Classroom. And I'd like to thank Mr. Hartnett for joining us this morning. Okay, you can go to the next slide. He is going to also introduce himself. Okay, our session goals for this parent session is to navigate through the Genesis Parent Portal, to understand Google Classroom, and to learn where to request technology assistance in our district. Okay, we can move forward. All right, so I will be starting with our parent portal overview. Sometimes you will receive e-blasts from myself or from other administrators telling you you're able to go into the parent portal to view important documents like iReady scores through the diagnostic. If you are in grades 3 and up, the NJSLA scores. A lot of that information is posted under the Documents tab, and we do send, actually, Mr. Hartnett sends me instructions, and I add that into any broadcast that goes out to parents just so that it's step by step and much easier and precise to log in so you could view what you need to view. But when you do log into the parent portal, I'm going to go over a few areas of what you'll see. Everything is on the left side tab under student data. So you click on those three lines and it brings you to a whole drop down on grades, attendance, report cards, forms, everything. So first you can click on the summary, and the summary will show your students, your child's picture, their student ID, their state ID, what grade your student is in or your child is in, and you can pull up his or her entire schedule. It could be for different marking periods, trimesters, when the lunch is, and if your child rides a bus, it also provides the bus information, the times, the pass, everything. Older students, it can give you their locker combinations in case you want to print them out in the beginning of the year and put them in your child's book bag just so that they don't forget. It gives you their usernames and their passwords to get into any district device that they may have to work from home. Okay, that's a summary of everything. Underneath the summary are assessments. Sometimes you will find information on this, not really all of the time. A lot of the teachers will post assessments in the Genesis page under the grading, under the grade book. That's where most of the assessments are posted. Now, sometimes you will see assessments or information in a teacher's Google Classroom page if they post it there, but most of them usually post them up in Genesis for you to view. Your child's attendance you can pull up through the parent portal to see how many days your child has been absent or if they have been tardy. You can also pull up report cards, and that's under grading. So when you click the grading tab, it will bring you to whichever marking period we are currently in, but you can also backtrack for a certain amount of time to pull up first quarter marking period, the grades, and any interim reports that may come out throughout the year. Everything is posted in this grading piece. So it will tell you the amount of credits for the marking period, who the teacher was, just a review of your child's complete schedule with grades. Underneath that grading tab is current grades. So you can click on the current grades and it will pull up under a drop down each subject that you click on if you want to view your child's current grades for the marking period to see any missed assignments or any notes that the teacher left for you in Genesis in the portal on, let's say, let's say an assignment was posted and your child was absent, so you see a 0. And underneath it, it might say absent. So then you have a little bit of more clarity on why the grades are what they are. And also a grading history, so you can go back to another marking period to look. And then another drop down under that grading is any available report cards. And that's where you can only pull up what we have posted so far. Under forms, that's where you will receive any forms that typically are required in order to receive your child's placement. So in the summer, it might be any type of sports registration, or it might be the code of conducts for the school and media consent form or different policies to review, technology. That's where all of the forms are shown. And scheduling, so that's just the forms library. You can pull up anything that has to be signed or anything that has not been signed in order for you to get access to the parent portal. Okay, scheduling is very similar to the grading. It pulls up the schedule and just goes over quarter 1, quarter 2. For the middle school, it will bring up the different cycles that your child is signed up for the different marking periods. And that covers these 5 areas. So if you could please go on to the next slide. Okay, and this is what it looks like. This is everything that I was saying. So your student data, the summary brings up what I had said. I think I went over everything here. Fees and fines. That's if, let's say, there's damage to something in school, or if your child loses a book or something curriculum related, we let you know how much it is. We let you know if there's any damage to any Chromebooks. And so that's where a lot of the fees, any missing library books, things like that. Family calendar is what you can upload to your phone if there's anything to connect to as far as what's uploaded with your child, and a calendar there. The documents tab is where the documents for the assessments are posted. So the NJSLA, as I said in the beginning, for grades 3 and up, the diagnostics for K through 8, and that's typically the key information there. If your child has an IEP or a 504, those are also posted. Oh, actually, no, those are not posted there anymore. They used to be, but that's really where everything will fall into the documents page, just for you to view any district information as far as assessments that have come out. And the contact page, that's for you to continually update if you get a new cell phone number, or if you move still within the town, and you have to provide updated emergency contacts or add somebody to an emergency contact for dismissal purposes or any pickups throughout the year. So that's a contact page as well. And I think that's everything. I think for viewing grades and assignments, attendance tracking, completing district forms. If you want to reset a password, there is a spot there where it says reset your password. You just put in your old password and update your new one, and that's everything. So this is what it looks like, the screenshot that Mr. Hartnett put on here, and it's very self-explanatory once you're clicking into it. The main areas for you to look at for a parental point of view is the summary, the attendance, and the grade book. And then as you get emails throughout the year about assessments, that an example, the diagnostics, that will be in the documents form, but a letter will also accompany that information so that you'll have an idea of when it will be posted. Okay, we can save questions for the end in the chat. And now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hartnett. Thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you for the brief introduction, Dr. Jones, but my name is Jack Hartnett. I'm the head of information technology here at Long Hill. I've been here for about 8 years. I'm going to give a brief overview on Google Classroom, which is the learning management solution that our district uses. This platform is designed to really help students manage their daily workloads. You can really think of Google Classroom as a digital backpack in a sense. In Google Classroom, students will find current assignments, worksheets, they'll find digital textbooks and class materials that teachers have assigned to them. They'll find daily announcements in a social media feed type page that I'll show in a few minutes. And they can also receive feedback on specific assignments, and they can also interact privately with the teacher on Google Classroom on specific assignments. So I'll show that as well. It's important to note this is a common confusion that we see with Google Classroom is that parents do not have direct access to Google Classroom. As a parent, you cannot log in with your account and gain access to your child's classroom. Google Classroom is designed to be a secure environment for teachers and students to interact. But I'm going to show you how you can navigate this platform alongside your child. So I'm actually going to change my screen share really quick. We're going to move into a demo classroom environment. Nothing you see here, it reflects anything going on in our district. This is simply a demo. But the first page that we end up on here is the stream tab. The stream you can think of almost as a social media feed. You're going to see videos posted, links, anything that the teacher wants to communicate out to the class. So for this example, I posted that field trip slips are due on Friday, and you could see that I linked to a video on NASA's Artemis mission, which a teacher could easily post a video that is relevant to what's going on in their classroom. The important thing to note about the stream is it is a feed that is showing the newest data at the top. So these 3 posts were posted in quick succession, and you can see that these assignment posts were kind of pushed to the bottom. So it's important to not rely on the stream to be your go-to place to find your workload. And that's where we're going to kind of move over to the classwork tab. So over at the top, we can click on classwork. This is where everything gets a little bit more organized. You'll see everything's broken out by unit. Teachers will have this completely organized based on what they're going over in their classroom. And we can see that these 3 assignments that we have, one was due yesterday, one is due tomorrow, and this was due on December 9th. What I really want to show on this page is the View Your Work shortcut right at the top here. Once you click View Your Work, this kind of cuts out all of the noise and gives you an exact readout of where your child or student is in their process. You can see this Planet quiz was due yesterday. I can see I have a grade assigned, which means it was submitted and graded, which is great. This Mars exploration essay is assigned due tomorrow, so I know that there's still something that needs to be done to complete that assignment. And this ecosystem food web project is missing. So I know that this due date has already passed and that there's something that needs to be done to correct that error. So we're going to take a look at the Mars exploration essay, which is due tomorrow. And then we're going to look at the actual assignment. This is what an assignment page looks like on Google Classroom. And we can actually go in and see, this is just a demo essay, but we can see that the student has completed their work. It looks like a fully completed essay, ready to submit, but the actual work hasn't been submitted yet. So when you're reviewing a classwork assignment page, you'll see this blue turn in button. It's very important that that button is actually clicked. You confirm the turn in, and now this work has been turned in and is ready to be graded by the teacher. The only other thing I really want to show on this page is the private comment area. I had just given a little sample private comment over here, but a student can interact with their teacher privately. All of the other students won't see their questions. So this is a great area. If your child is, a little more to themselves, they're not comfortable raising their hand in class and asking that question, they have that opportunity on Google Classroom to just ask a direct question with their teacher. The only other thing that's really important to highlight on Google Classroom is, especially for our middle school students that juggle multiple classes, is this to-do area. The to-do area will essentially aggregate everything that the student has. I had just submitted that assignment, so it's going to be in the done category, but it'll take all of their assignments across all of their classes and give them a to-do list with due dates, and it kind of helps keep them on track. So I kind of look at it as a master schedule, and I think it's a really important really important piece to understand on Google Classroom. Um, for the actual Google Classroom, it's a really simple platform. It's very intuitive. Most of our students are very familiar with using it. Um, there's really not much else to show here, so I am going to hop back to the presentation. And this just walked through the demo I did. The next is, since you can't really log into Google Classroom yourself, we have a feature called Guardian Email Summaries, which all of our teachers have them on. How this works is you have a Guardian email associated, as Lori said, in the contacts area of the Genesis Parent Portal. We'll take that email and we'll assign them to your students in the beginning of the year. Once you are a guardian to that student and the teacher has Guardian Summaries turned on, you'll start receiving either a daily or a weekly digest of everything that's going on in your students' Google Classrooms. So key areas that the email highlights is missing work, upcoming work, and class activities. So if there's a new stream post, you'll also see what your your child's teacher is saying to your students on Google Classroom. If you aren't receiving Guardian email summaries, please reach out directly to your teacher. Make sure that they have the proper email on file for you. That's usually the biggest issue we see with Guardian summaries. Teachers can always resend the invitation, and the tech department will always help out and make sure that you get logged in and you start receiving these emails. Once you do start receiving them, it's up to you to decide the cadence you want to receive the emails in. At the very bottom of every email, it'll give you a little settings option. That's where you can go in and say, I want to receive a daily update or a weekly update. And I think those are actually granular. So if you have multiple students in the district, they will, if you have one student you want to receive a daily update for, or another child you want to receive a weekly for, you can also do that. On the slides here, this is just a direct example from Google of what a Guardian email summary looks like. I just wanted to use a demo so we don't share any information we shouldn't be. But that really covers it for Guardian email summaries. The next, I'll show you kind of where to get technology assistance. So if you have content questions on, let's say you receive a Guardian summary and you're unsure about this assignment or how, the use case in the classroom, you can email your teacher, ask them what the assignment is. That's totally who you should contact. But for Genesis Parent Portal login access, at the very top of the Parent Portal, we have Elizabeth Nicholas's email. She is our dedicated Parent Portal support. Anytime you need to get a password reset, change your email, anything like that, contact Liz. Liz will get you set up right away. For any Chromebook hardware issues or really any other technology issues at all, feel free to email techteam@longhill.org. We always check that email. It goes to our entire department, and we'll always get back to you as soon as we can, and we happily will help every parent we can. I think that kind of wraps it up, to be honest with you. So we want to open the floor to questions. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Zoom chat.
Okay, there are some questions here I can review. Jack, I think, could you have two Guardian emails attached to your student?
Yes, you can. There are multiple Guardians that can be attached to a student. So if your husband is receiving them and you are not, I would reach out to your child's teacher. Feel free to also send an email to techteam@longhill.org. Just include your child's information. I'll take a look at it as well. We'll make sure that you get those emails. And could I restate how to turn on Guardian email summaries? Guardian email summaries are turned on by the teacher. We encourage teachers to always make sure that they're turned on. We have something that we can do to make sure that they're turned on as well. If you have an issue and you're not receiving them, I would first reach out to your teacher, just make sure that she has the feature turned on and that she has the correct email for you, and then you'll automatically start receiving them.
Great.
Are there any other questions?
Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you very much for attending. Thank you, Jack, for the overview. And have a great rest of the day, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.